Hi, Larry Johansson here, author, speaker, and seminar leader whose mission is to engage, encourage, enlighten, and empower everyone to be excellent. Today, February 6th, is the birthday of my countryman, the Honorable Robert Nesta Marley, known simply as Bob. His birthday falls in the first week of Black History Month here in Canada, where the achievements and contributions of Black people are honored. And so I'd like to pause to pay tribute to Bob today. Bob's music formed the soundtrack of my life growing up at a time in Jamaica when there was a flowering of Jamaican culture, and the People's National Party, under the leadership of Michael Manley, was mobilizing Jamaicans to embrace the politics of change, which meant a transformation of the society and bringing the poor, Black, disenfranchised majority of the people into the political and economic process. I grew up on a street in Jamaica called Brentford Road, which I didn't realize at the time was the epicenter, or at least one of the epicenters of Jamaican music and culture. Up the road from where I lived was Studio One, the legendary recording studio run by Clement Coxsone Dodd. Early in his musical career, Bob recorded for Coxsone. The studio attracted all the young aspiring musicians from the surrounding neighborhood of Concrete Jungle, Trenchtown, and Jonestown. On a Sunday morning, they would line up from the gate of Studio One, stretching down Brentford Road past my house, strumming their guitars and harmonizing for a fleeting audition with Coxsone. It was a common place to run into people like Ken Booth, Leroy Sibbles, Jacob Killer Miller, Dennis Brown, Delroy Wilson, Roy Shirley, Jackie Mitu, and a host of others. Every now and then, Bob, the tough gong, would pass through the neighborhood, causing a stir in his BMW, which some said stood for Bob Marley and the Wailers, but which the rest as rude boys and rebels who congregated around Coxsone's studio dubbed Badman Wagon. We knew about Bob's music long before he became world famous. He was amazingly prolific, and we would wait eagerly for a new release on a Friday evening, gathering around a portable transistor radio to listen to him singing about the common experience of the sufferer, whether it was the looting, shooting, and wailing taking place in Shantytown, them a loot, them a shoot, them a wail at Shantytown, or just coming out of the general penitentiary for a simple possession of marijuana. Yes, my friend, my good friend, Medea Street again. The bars could not hold I. Words could not control I. They tried to keep I down. The guards pushed I around. Yes, I've been accused, wrongly abused, but through the powers of the Most High, they have to turn I loose. Or waking up in a curfew, incredulous that he was a prisoner too. This morning, I woke up in a curfew. Oh Lord, I couldn't stand it. I was a prisoner too. Could not recognize the faces standing over me. They were all dressed in uniforms of brutality and forcing him to wonder, how many rivers do we have to cross before we can talk to the boss? Or questioning the sincerity of the top-ranking politicians, those politicians who practiced many tricks on the people, promising much and delivering nothing. Top ranking, do you mean what you say, or are you skanking, skanking, skanking? He skewered them for using their guns, spare parts, and money to bribe and belittle our integrity, for setting up ambush in the night, aiming all their guns at me, at you, at us. He was a Rastaman ordained by the Most High to bring redemption songs, songs of freedom to the sufferers and wretched of the earth. His message was to get up, stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. He exhorted Africa and Africans, wherever they found themselves, to unite for the benefit of your children. He encouraged the freedom fighters to rise and take their stance again, assuring them that it was okay to fight and run away if it meant they would live to fight another day, an effective formula for guerrilla warfare. By such means, I liberate Zimbabwe. He warned the slave driver that the table is turned. Catch a fire, you're gonna get burned. Letting him know that he remembered on the slave ship how they brutalized our very souls. He warned that until the color of a man's skin was of no more significance than the color of his eyes, then everywhere is war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war uptown, and war downtown. Everywhere is war. But he also sang about love, the love of Jah, and the impossibility of separating oneself from that love. No one can separate I from the love of the Father. And he sang of his own commitment to forever loving Jah. He sang also about brotherly and sisterly love, love of the simple things in life, like the three little birds on his doorstep, singing sweet songs of melody pure and true, love of man for woman, and listening to his heart to follow through, after laying his eyes for the first time on a sistrum, declaring that he was willing and able, laying his cards on the table. No games here. Is this love? Is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? He comforted his woman. No woman, no cry. Everything is gonna be all right. He sang about universal love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Most importantly for me, he exhorted Black people to emancipate yourself from mental slavery and to wake up and live. I could go on and on. When I think of Bob, I'm just awed and stunned by the incredible body of work he put out by the time he turned 36. I remember the day I heard the news of his death, for how unusual it was. I was in my final undergraduate year at the University of the West Indies and on my way to the campus at Mona. It was a bright sunny day when suddenly the sky turned black. Lightning flashed, thunder boomed, and the sky broke open with a torrential downpour. And as suddenly as the rain came, it stopped. The sun shone brilliantly once more, and a magnificent rainbow broke out over the hills surrounding the Mona campus. When I arrived on campus, I received the news that interpreted the strange behavior of the elements as nature's way of acknowledging the passing of this Rasta man and the bright promise of his message of love, equality, and justice for all. Bob was a hero among us because he spoke for the poor and dispossessed. He embraced and proclaimed his Rastafarian faith at a time when it was dangerous to wear dreadlocks, because the police, Babylon, were given full authority to harass, beat, and jail Rastafarians who fiercely rejected the British colonial values of Jamaican society. In the years since he has passed, his popularity has not diminished. He has grown to become an international icon for love, justice, equality, and peace. In his song Bad Card, he predicted with wry humor that he would be around for a long time to be a source of discomfiture for his detractors. You got tired for some face, can't get me out of the race. Oh man, what a big disgrace. Me say you draw a bad card. I'm grateful to have been born in the time and place to know this Rasta man and to experience his positive vibrations. I wrote this poem years ago and I'm livicating it. And Rastaman will understand the difference between livicating and dedicating. So I'm livicating this poem to the Honorable Robert Nesta Marley. It's titled The Rastaman. I am the Rasta man, trodden through this Babylonian land, walking tall and dignified with Jaja on my side. I am the true spiritual aristocrat, different from the material fat cat. Within shines Jah's light. I deal with only the true and right. Heir to Jah's inestimable treasures, I turn my back on Babylonian pleasures and go inward to reality, away from the world's superficiality. The spirit dances in elation as I enter meditation. Within the heart I found Mount Zion. Now I roar like a mighty lion. The wicked herein shall tremble and run, while I remain as radiant as the golden sun. My only aim and wish is this, to experience Jah's bliss, to swim in his deep ocean of peace, from Babylonian bondage, gain release. One love, one heart, one destiny.